the number one podcast in the world for growing your insurance business.
I'm gonna do whatever it takes, getting it done, any means, get rid of these stakes. Now I'm up in my stakes, going all in like get rid of these breaks. Now I ain't never gonna break, double my pace till I go down one of the greats. One of the greats, whatever it takes, whatever it takes.
Can't believe I'm doing this.
Having fun, so that's all.
We like the light figures. All right, everybody, welcome back into another episode of the Seven Figures or Bust podcast on a Monday morning. This episode 252. This is the number one podcast in the world for growing your insurance business. My name is Christian Brindle. I'm joined by my co-host, as always, Glenn Shelton. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. How was your weekend, sir?
You know, my weekend was fine. A lot of playing with children this weekend. I even took both of them to the trampoline park. And I threw that baby all over those trampolines. You got some air, let me tell you.
Oh, that is hilarious.
Picture a distressed 1-year-old getting about a foot off the ground.
Like, I bet if I throw him hard enough, he'll hit 3 trampolines. Watch. It's like skipping rocks. So, they love it. They're also made of rubber at that age. It's crazy. Yeah. The falls my kids will take, and they just bounce right back up. I'm like, okay. I wish I could do that.
No, it was a good weekend. Got some work done. Got some awesome content filmed for you guys. I'm really excited about that. We'll be dripping out throughout the week, and a lot of playtime with the kiddos. My daughter's trying to learn how to read, so I was working with her on learning to read. So that's
Father of the Year this morning on the pod, everybody.
Well, I was trying to program Alexa to teach her, because she has an Alexa on her tablet. So I told her,
I don't want to do this. Can I out?
It was actually working for a little while, but like Alexa can't stay focused. Alexa goes off into Pluto.
When Alexa first came out, I got obsessed with. I have a video from like 2016. I was obsessed with playing the spelling game with it. Have you ever done that before, where it's like a quiz, and then like you can do like competitions with people? So I think I could see Alexa doing it. All right, I got to ask you something though. So you're texting me this weekend about Alaska. Texting me about Alaska. We talked about Alaska on Friday. I had a couple thoughts. I was like, was it our conversation on Friday? Did he make it to El Camino in the Breaking Bad saga? We are in the Breaking Bad era of the pod. As most of you know, I just watched El Camino like a week ago. It's honestly better than I remember. El Camino.
That's good. El Camino's good.
It was great. Yeah. So talk to me about Alaska. What's going on? Are we moving?
Pause. No, I don't know. Probably not. I put a pause in Breaking Bad to watch your scary movie, Obsession.
Oh, yeah. Tell the people about Obsession.
I will in just a moment, but I also watched last night this new Paramount, The Real Wolf of Wall Street docuseries. I'm 2 out of 3 episodes into that. It's like the real story, like people that were involved, and Belfort didn't want to participate. His right-hand man guy, the Jonah Hill guy, that Jonah Hill's based off of, he didn't want to participate. But like, there's all kinds of other people that did participate that were involved. And so I was watching a bit of that. So I put a pin in Breaking Bad for the time being. When it comes to Obsession, for those of you that don't know, my wife is a scary movie. She just loves scary movies. It's her favorite genre.
Your text last night, because I know she's right. I'm not that person. No, I was terrified.
See, I'm really not that person either, but just because I'm married to her, I've seen enough scary movies to where it didn't really like tickle me either that much. I was like, it was interesting. It was a watch, but like,
it was a
watch. I don't know. The girl didn't really scare me that much. And the fix was too
scared me so
simple.
bad.
Someone else snapped the wand and wish her better. I'm like, that's it? That's all you got to do? You can talk about terrible customer service when you call in
You can
about a
be a
complaint.
wizard too, Harry. All you
Yeah.
have to do, get into
And-
Hogwarts.
And
We lost you. We lost your audio, sir.
sorry, I was gonna. What I was gonna say is, let's be real. Don't we all want our significant others to be that dedicated to us?
No, not to that. No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I was terrified by the whole situation. I was watching it late at night by myself, which added to, I think, the scariness level of. I also don't watch that many horror movies, but what did you think of like the fact that that entire movie was $1 million though? Is that not crazy to think that that whole thing was just $1 million and how much money it's made?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was pretty impressive for what they spent on it. The production value was pretty good for what they spent on it. I feel like I've seen that movie 800 times though. Like Being Married to My Wife, like that exact movie. You know what I'm saying? Like, so
Yeah.
I was very surprised that it's been so successful. I'm like, this is like cookie cutter scary movie, like the template. I'm like, what's so special about this movie? That's what I walked away thinking a little bit. It was all right. It was watchable. It was a vibe.
It was the vibe.
It was a vibe.
The critics. All right. Tell us about Alaska. I got to hear about this Alaska thing that happened. What's going on?
Well, our conversation about Alaska got me thinking about Alaska.
It was. I knew it.
It was
It
that.
was Friday.
It was that.
Guys, 251. Go back and rewatch. It was a banger.
About a year ago, I was thinking about Alaska as well, and just like, being in my, I'm like, wonder what it's like up there. Started doing some research and stuff. And so,
No, your mic. We lost your mic again. We thought we had.
Thought I fixed my mic, and I didn't. I clearly didn't. So we got to go back to the drawing board on that. But what was I saying? Oh yeah. So, if there's any Alaska residents that are that listen to the show, you can probably add to my armchair quarterback knowledge base here. But I think beautiful, scenic, weird weather, right? Like there's only like 4.5 to 5 hours of weather in the peak winter, or 4.5 to 5 hours of sunlight, excuse me, during peak winter season. So that's strange. It's like dark for 20 hours a day, 19 hours a day. It's one of the most dangerous states in America. It's like Compton. The whole state is like Compton.
That's part of the selling point for you. You're like, I want to be in Compton everywhere.
No,
is it okay? Let me ask you this: is it more so the blue ocean of Medicare that is exciting you about Alaska, or is it like the wilderness off the grid aspect, or is it the combo of those? What's
has nothing to do with Medicare or insurance or anything like that.
Well, you mentioned it in the text this video.
Well, I always have to. I don't know. It's just interesting. It's interesting. It's more. It's the most different place I feel like exists. That I mean, Hawaii's very different and things like that, but Hawaii's insanely expensive. Taxes are nuts. Like, there's no state income tax in Alaska. You get a rebate for living there as a resident. Like, interesting things like that. It's got to be on a short list of the most unique places you can be.
Totally.
In America.
And you're still in the U.S. somehow. Somehow yes. You're like so far away, but still land in the U.S. It's so crazy.
Yes, agreed.
Yeah,
agreed. We have a lot to cover on today's show. So yes. For those of you that were curious, over the weekend I was watching some clips from Mr. Daniel Martell.
Oh my Lord, I love him. I watched a few this weekend too.
And I know you are. I know you're a big fan. I'm a fan. And he has these videos where there's these short clip form videos where he gives basically business advice, life advice, things like that. And I thought it would be interesting for us to react to these.
Please.
Um,
Please. I love his content. I love him. Let's go.
but before we do that, we probably should take care of some housekeeping and talk
Yes.
about this episode's sponsor. Guys, episode 252 is brought to you by none other than Lead Heroes. Guys, if you didn't know, we have, 10, 11 days remaining of our Lead Heroes 50% off 4th of July offering. Okay. Leads that are Medicare supplement leads, final expense leads, Turn 65 leads, dental vision hearing leads that are call verified, exclusive to you, right? Like if you have an agent buddy and his name is Billy, you and Billy aren't going to get the same leads. Okay. It's not gonna play that shit. Okay. But they're also real time and they're also 50% slashed on the retail pricing until the end of the month. This is typically only an offering that we provide to our contracted Everything Senior Insurance Premier agents internally. We've never done a price slashing this much. There are going to be some orders depending on where some of you guys live. You live in like, Boktok, Kansas or something like, and there's like 10 people in the whole town. We're going to lose money on that promo because we got to call all 10 until we generate you 10 leads. Okay. It might take a while.
It's so hard to make it through one of these read-ins with you. I just like, can we get through the 2 minutes? Will we make it?
Guys, check it out. Leadheroes.com, 50% off. And if you live in
apologize to
Kansas,
yeah, I apologize
to if I offended you.
Residents. Kansas. Where do you come up with these? Entire state of Kansas right now is like, ban Christian from ever coming here. How dare he?
Is it going to be like Andrew Tate? I'm arrested on site and extradited somewhere.
Yeah.
Extradited to Kansas.
Immediately into prison. Watch out.
Don't go to Kansas. By the way, I don't know if you heard about that whole situation.
I did not.
He was arrested over the weekend and he will be extradited to the United Kingdom on like 52 charges. Something
crazy.
Like that.
Crazy.
Crazy situation. Anyway, shifting gears, I wanted to make sure we had enough as much time as possible to kind of get into these links in these short little clips here. These are interesting.
Randy, really fast. Randy, if you're watching, if you could do the people at home a favor, drop the link for me, good sir, into the comments here in the 7-Figure Medicare Agent Facebook group. So you guys don't even have to type it into the browser, leadheroes.com. You can just click the link and get those 50% off Lead Hero leads. All right, Mr. Brindle, continue.
All right, so I'm going to share my screen and we can go into the first one here. Okay, so for those of you that don't know, how would you characterize Dan Martell?
So, like 20-second overview on Dan. He has kind of like a serial entrepreneur vibe to him. Started a bunch of companies. Finally, I think had a couple of software companies that really took off for him back in like the late 90s. So he's been in the game a long time. Now he's like an investor. He's an author. He really came onto my scene a couple years ago with the book Buy Back Your Time. And he's obsessed with the concept of kind of leveraging time. So I don't think he's a billionaire yet, but he's like on the path to becoming a billionaire. And I really enjoy his content from a business perspective. That's like
as do I. I think I think.
Oh, what was that? An off-scene crack. We didn't even get to see it for the audio. Oh, it is an orange Celsius. Of course.
I'm into it, you guys. So, when I think about Dan Martell, I'll kind of give a little bit of feedback on my side of things.
Please do.
When I first started listening to like online content and gurus, the big names at the time were Gary Vaynerchuk and Grant Cardone. amongst a few others, right? You had Russell Brunson. I don't feel like Russell Brunson ever got as big from a content perspective as those guys did, though. No. You know what I mean? Like,
he had some good books, which even the books were like, but yeah, I think, Gary V, who else was kind of big around that time?
Grant Cardone was really blowing up around that time. Tony
Robbins, he's kind of getting more into the content. He was a little late to the content game, but kind of some another one of the gurus out there.
Nowadays, though, if you go back even a couple of years, those guys are still around. But I think the people that are really, and I think as time has gone on, you've had a marketplace of ideas that's been flooded with a saturation, if you will, of people that want to be business gurus. And really what ends up happening is the people that bring the most actual tangible, detailed value, they stand out above the rest, right? Because it used to be someone could put out a very vague informational video and, they'd be like, wow, this is amazing, but the game has changed a little bit to where the level of value needs to
give it away.
You really got to give away the secret sauce. Otherwise you're not going to stand out. What is
Alex
that?
Hormozi. This is my Japanese flash frozen coffee, guys. Not an official sponsor, but it says boss on it. So I feel like a boss when I'm drinking it. Alex Hormozi, I love his content now. Again, he's kind of a little bit newer. And Tim Ferriss is another one I'll throw out there.
He's one. Alex is actually someone I was thinking about to where I feel like he came onto the scene and he really made a big splash very quickly in terms of the content game. But
giving it away.
He was the first guy, I feel like, that really, really went into the weeds with you on his free content. And Dan, I feel like, is in that same mode. Dan is Dan and Alex are probably the two guys I think about today that are more newer in terms of giving content out, but they really, really dive into the actual details with you. And their content's really good. Both of them.
I love this. I'm so excited for this. Tim Ferriss, I always liked him because I thought he kind of fell into that category. He wasn't necessarily as big, especially back in the day. I think he puts out more content now that's more actionable. But yeah, I've always been more on the tell me the blueprint. Don't give me the rah-rah. I'm a self-motivated person. Yeah, I'm self-motivated. Yes. I'm already self-motivated. I don't need the rah-rah. That's what the Celsius is for, right? That's what I'm excited.
When I was younger, I was more into the rah-rah motivational stuff.
I was gonna say that. I didn't want to say it. Here you are. You're saying, yeah, you totally were. You totally.
I definitely was. As I've gotten older, it kind of feels like fast food. I eat it, it gives me a stomach ache.
Yes. Totally agree. It's gross after a while.
And I am very much a self-motivated person. I got to a point in my life where I would listen to rah-rah motivational stuff and I'd be like, all right, I'm all motivated. But I'm like, okay, but what do I do?
I don't know what I'm gonna do.
What do I do? What do I do with all this motivation? I'd be like, I was like, I don't know what to do.
It's a great point. It's a great point. And there's a lot of people like that out there who get really motivated and have no idea what to do.
I'm all motivated. Randy, if you're watching, I would love a AI image of me all motivated.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Okay. So anyway, this first clip from Dan. So this is what to do with your first $10,000. This might be interesting.
Dream vacation. F. Why would you do a cheap vacation now when you do a fucking baller vacation in a couple of years?
Pay down credit card debt.
A, you should pay down all high interest debt.
Retirement fund.
F. Invest in you to make more money. That's a better bet than making 8 to 10% a year compounded.
Buy a used car.
If you don't have a car, an A.
Buy a course.
S tier.
Hire a coach.
Your first 10K on a coach is better than a course because a course is self-directed, whereas a coach gives you implementation and correction. Higher end of S tier.
Invest in your friend's business. business.
D, you should always invest in your own business, not your friend's business.
Okay, so I'm going to go back to the end there so we have these on the screen. Reactions to those. So basically what he's saying is you have $10,000 to spend. These are essentially from F tier being the worst to S tier being the best. What is the best use of that money? And so
yeah, go ahead.
So there's a multitude of different things here. Reactions, I guess. Are there any you disagree with?
I love this so much. I feel like we almost have to make this like a new segment of the show where we have to like react to, like, we pick an entrepreneur's content and we like react for a minute. I grew up and I was constantly being taught the retirement fund pitch.
Yes.
And over and over and over from a lot of people in my network at the time, from the time I was like 14 to 18 or 19, like I was taught over and over, like, look at the miracle of compounding interest. Look at this, which again, I'm all for savings. I'm all for investments. But at the same time, the amount of money and energy that I've put into my businesses over the years and where it's gotten to me now has far superseded any type of money or safe savings fund that I could have possibly put that money into. I would argue it's probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 5 to 10x. Like, it's hard to like really give you an accurate number comparison, but I would have to assume the sort of income my businesses are generating now versus the sort of income a safe savings account, something like a really diversified mutual fund or a high yield saving, or an annuity, the type of stuff that a lot of people preach is like the ultimate wealth driving machine here in America. So I love to see that he categorized that as an F. That gives me just warm fuzzies in my chest. What was your first reaction though to this?
Yeah, I totally agree on the retirement fund. So, I was always taught that same thing growing up, by teachers, parents, authority figures, things like that. Save your money, little Billy.
Yep.
Put in a retirement fund, little Billy.
You're 65.
And it was actually the person that actually smashed that for me and I never ever looked at it the same way again was actually Cardone. Cardone was like, he's like, you gonna tie your money up till you're 60? That's stupid. And I'm like, that is stupid. I'm like, I don't want to wait till I'm 60. You know what I mean? Like that never ever left me, but that is a legitimately hated opinion to have these days. It's kind of like, that college is a waste of money. That's like a despised opinion from a lot of people.
It's a very similar vein. I don't know if it was necessarily anyone that smashed like the paradigm for me. I think the thing for me was there was no, like, you look at all these people who built businesses and had tangible income a lot sooner in life. And I'm sitting here thinking, I'm like, you want me to lock away all of my money and hope that I even live long enough to then potentially enjoy it later? Like, I'm like, I can't, it didn't land for me. And it was pounded into me. It was literally, I had so many people. I had my scoutmaster at the time. I'll tell you the story really fast. He was a financial, my scoutmaster, I swear, the true story right now, true story, Scout's honor. My scoutmaster was a financial advisor, pretty successful financial advisor. I think he was even managing my parents' money at the time.
Okay.
And he had printed out what's like with the life insurance policies? What's it called when it shows you like the cash value buildup? Policy illustration. The schedule, the illustrations, right? And we were all sitting around the table and he's passing out these illustrations. He's like, look at this. Look at all the money. You put $10,000 in now and $100 a month for 30 years. Guys, you're going to be millionaires, multi-million. You're going to get to 1.8 million by the time you're 60 years old. Like it's some sort of weird. I'm so glad that little Glenn didn't jump on that ship. Oh yeah. My God.
Real quickly, I'm gonna fireball. I'm gonna really
please
track the rest of these because there's a lot more of these to go through. I actually have a pretty good list of these. Okay, so vacation, totally agree. When I was younger, I went on a couple of like luxury vacations, and while they were fun and while I had a good time, they weren't a good use of my money. My first AEP, I can't remember exactly what I made. I think I made like 11 or 12K, something like that. Which sounds like nothing, but to me at that time, that was more money I've ever seen. I spent all of it on vacations that year, the following year. That's a regret I have. I could have done so much with that to grow the business. Invest in your friend's business, dumb. I'm surprised that's not an F, honestly.
Yeah, should be an F.
Credit card debt, paying it down, agreed. I had a little bit of credit card debt when I was younger as well. Same. And I made a dedicated decision to pay it off and get rid of it, and it was a good decision. Used car, if you don't have a car takes you where you need to go. Course and coaches. It's faster to pay somebody to teach you something that knows something that you want to know than trying to figure it out yourself. So I like this. I like his list. I think it's very, very good.
And investing in your skill set as the S tier, right? The most important thing you can do, so whether that's a coach or a mentor or, a course, shout out to 7 Figure University. Mm-hmm. Super cool to see some of you this weekend jumping in there. Spending time with Christian on the weekend.
Yeah. Spend time with me.
Definitely S tier. Love investing in those really specific skill sets that can really help you get from A to Z in your business.
Okay, the next one, ranking ways to lose money.
I love this.
Here we go. Oh, and it's based on 1 to 10.
Restaurants, 9. So much work. Every day I got to
margins are so bad.
Yes.
Okay, so maybe we do these one by one. So restaurants, 9 out of 10 in terms of ways to lose money. Thoughts on that? That one kind of surprised me a little bit, as I've never ran a restaurant, owned a restaurant, so I don't know, but I could see it.
Yeah, I've never. I think it's always one of those things where, like, it sounds really fun. I mean, we spend a bunch of time eating, right? All of us do. And then you've maybe even been to a restaurant that's really successful before. I mean, when I'm at In-N-Out and I see a line out the door, I'm always like, holy hell, like the money this thing must be throwing off is insane. But the average restaurant, it's, first of all, the failure rate's like 85%. The margins are as narrow. You're usually making like 10%. Unless you have a household name like Gordon Ramsay and you can throw your name on the building and charge a bunch of extra money, it's such a brutal industry. It's brutal.
Agreed. All right, let's go to the next one, which looks like it's day trading.
Day trading.
Day trading, 6. Easily will take your money. Drop shipping, 8.
Okay, so day trading, 6. Drop shipping, 8. Thoughts on those two?
Day trading's tough. At one point, maybe somewhere in the 10 to 15 years ago range, I thought I could kind of outsmart the market, especially stock options. It is really difficult, especially if you don't have an incredible amount of capital to be able to get in there. And even then, even when you feel like you think you have it all figured, there's so many variables in the market. President Trump gets on TV unannounced and says, hey, we just dropped a nuke on Iran. What do you think the market's got? It's like what do you, there goes the market, right? There goes liquidity out of the market. So it's tough. I think it's tough. Drop shipping. I've never personally been involved in drop shipping. My understanding is that it's kind of already come and passed because there's such a high volume of drop shippers out there. It's tough to get into it now. But I'm not really surprised by the rankings at all on any of these yet. What about you?
I think day trading should be higher. I'm just not a believer in day trading, but.
So you mean lower? I like, because if you're ranking ways, so like 10 is the highest way you could lose money, then I'm assuming.
I think so. I think that's the way I'm interpreting this.
So
I think
it should be, day trading should be lower, like 8 or 9 probably. I don't disagree with you there. Yeah, I don't disagree with you.
All right, we'll keep going.
Most people are going to lose their money.
Hiring a coach.
3. Most people lose money because of them. I don't think the coach is the reason they're going to lose the money.
Real estate.
Okay, so hiring a coach.
Preach,
3.
brother. Preach,
Thought that
brother.
was very well said.
Good Lord. That was incredible. Thank you,
Real
Dan,
estate.
for that.
4. You wouldn't lose that much money.
Gambling.
10. I don't get it.
Lawsuits.
8. Most people that get into lawsuits, it's emotional and it's not logical.
Divorce.
10. If I was in a business that lost half of my fucking business, that is bad business.
Okay, so the final ones here, right? Gambling, 10 out of 10. My wife enjoys to gamble, and so do I when we go to Vegas and stuff. But like, I try to explain to her how stupid it is, and like it's just for entertainment purposes and things like that. And
purely recreational, yeah.
She's real interested. She's always been interested. She never really bought any before because it's illegal in Utah, but she's always been real interested in like buying lottery tickets. And I try to explain to her, I'm like, you have a better chance of getting hit by lightning 3 times in the same place.
Or more.
Or more. Like,
yeah.
you know, I'm like, she's like, but what if I won? I'm like, you know how many millions of people have that logic? Like, what if I won? And I told her, I'm like, you might as well just take, you know, $10-15 and put it in the toilet and flush it. You have the same result.
When I was in college, I was convinced that I had scratchers figured out. I was like, I swear, $2, it was the $2 crosswords. And I was convinced that it was a numbers game, that if I bought enough, so if I took like $100 in and I get $52 scratchers, that I'll play the numbers game and I'll come out on no matter how many times I try, it never works out. And you want to know why? It's because it's always on the house. The house always has the edge.
Yes.
Even if you have a short-term gain, you go to the casino, you're sports betting, you're doing scratchers, you hit the lottery. It's a short-term gain. If you play long enough, you will lose. You will be a loser. That's how they stay in business, guys. It's so simple.
You think those casinos got so big by accident?
Yeah. Nope.
They did win. Because you keep playing. All right.
And they win every night.
All right. Next on the list here.
Really fast on the hiring a coach one. What did you think about those? So that was his lowest on the list. His comments, guys, were, if you're losing money on your coach, it's probably you and not the coach. Well, what do you think about that as someone who has coached many, many, many agents over the years?
I think for the most part, that's true. I think if you have a good coach, a good program you're going through, but man, there's so many people that have programs right now. Like, and I do think some are like legitimately dog shit. So I think there's some nuance there. Like if you go into a program that literally has no tangible like direction, and maybe it's taught by someone that's not done what you want to do. I don't know. I see nuance in that one. If it's a good coach, a good program, then I would agree with it.
Yeah, I mean there's some snake oil salesmen out there for sure, right? There's definitely some bad coaches, but how many times have we mentored an agent and they just didn't take our advice? They didn't.
All the time, every week.
Yeah, constantly, daily. So I love that one.
All right. I'm going to play this one in its full and we can react. Okay. School won't make you rich.
School was never designed to make you rich. School was designed to take people that used to work on a farm, teach them how to work in a factory, and go work in a factory and shut the fuck up. Clock in, don't ask questions. Most people go to school, go to college, and they go, all done, no more classes. And then they're like, why am I not more successful? You know what helps people get rich? Taking risks, betting on themselves. School doesn't teach you that. School says study, memorize, finish this test. None of the things that you get graded on in school on a test reflect how you get rich. School is never.
Thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I got my associate's degree. I was considering a computer science major. I was considering a pre-law major. And, you know, a lot of people in my life were pretty highly educated and were trying to convince me to get my degree and that was going to be my pathway to success. And again, it was one of those things similar to like the savings for retirement where like I just couldn't make the math work in my head. Like I just couldn't make the numbers work in the sense of, you know, if I spend all of this time and money to get a degree, there's no direct output here that says I'm going to be successful. I'm going to make this much money. Not to say that I like think education is bad or college is bad. Like I'm definitely telling my kids, I'm like, hey, you should consider going to college. You know, I think there's a lot of positive things that can come from going to college. But from a financial perspective, taking out a 6-figure loan to get a 4-year degree, which so many people I know have done, is probably not going to have a positive impact on your net worth for a really long time. It's not the type of bet that it was 20 years ago, 30 years ago. I think college education, it's almost like the internet has devalued college education it's like the more popular the internet got and the easier access to information you got online, and then at the same time, somehow college education went up in cost. It's like, how is it that college education has become less and less valuable, but at the same time, the colleges are like, hey, we're going to keep charging you more and more and more and more. It used to be, guys, you could get a 4-year degree for like $10K. And now it's literally the inflation, because again, the colleges are a big business now. They're making a ton of money, guys. It's crazy. So I'm trying to be a little middle ground on this, because I know there's some people have really strong feelings about this one way or the other. I'm definitely in the camp of you don't need to go to college to be successful. In fact, some of the most successful people never went to college or dropped out. Yeah. Right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, my opinion is I felt so strongly about this at one point in my life when I was like 23. I self-published my first book ever. That's how I learned how to do it, about why college was bullshit. Well, like literally. It's like I did a lot of research and study for that book. Okay, so I take a little bit of a stronger stance.
Sure.
Like I will tell my kids, you shouldn't go to college. You'll spend a bunch of money and get nothing. That's what I'm gonna tell them.
You're not wrong.
And I think there's exceptions to the rule. I think if you're going to be a doctor, a lawyer, some very specific career like that, you don't have a choice. But outside of that, the vast majority of people statistically that get a degree don't end up working in that field. So I think it's like 70%, 75%. So if you get if you get 100,000 in debt, 150,000 in debt for a career that you don't even go into, you never have an ROI on that. Correct. And you're going to pay it off for 20 years, 30 years.
I think my counter argument to that, to play devil's advocate, is that there's potentially intangibles like networking and relationships and the experience of, you're a little kid, you're getting out of high school, you're trying to figure it out. Again, I'm still like, if I had to pick today and I had to go back in time, I wish I had dropped out sooner. That's the truth. I wish I had dropped out 2 years sooner. I wish I had done maybe a year I did 3 years of college. I wish I had dropped out after a year, and I could have gotten those 2 years back. I'd be further ahead now than I am.
The other exception to the rule I'll say is, like, if you can get into like a Harvard, or some school like that,
that's worth a lot more.
Then to me, I think the networking matters. Then I think it's nothing about what you're going to learn. You're not going to learn anything that's valuable. But the people that you'll network with, like future senators, presidents, go to places like Harvard for that reason. So I think that's an exception. When I hear about, the networking of college, is it really that important to network with a bunch of people at your local community college that they're going to work at Taco Bell?
Yeah.
Like, what's the point of that?
What's the Phoenix one? The online university?
Oh,
my University of Phoenix degree is very prestigious. There's definitely something to be said. I think that's a great point. Is there's a handful of Ivy League colleges where that diploma means a lot more than any other college. And the people you're going to be surrounded with are also going to be completely different than any other college. I think that's a great devil's advocate point to make for sure.
Okay. Next one. This next one here is shit or superstar employee edition.
Exactly what you're paying them for.
Shit employee. I want people to show up and create more value than they're being paid for.
Get stuff done, but heads home early every day.
Superstar. I don't care about the work hours. I care about the person who's super efficient.
Push back on ideas all the time.
Fuck that person. Shit employee. Work. I need to find the people that are going to tell me how it's going to work.
Makes mistakes, but documents.
Superstar. All four making mistakes. As long as you document them, you learn from them. Game on.
Escalates all their problems to their leader.
That's a shit employee. Solve the problem. Yeah. Something. Why don't you just do it?
Yes, Dan.
Superstar. I like somebody who knows what they're worth and is going to ask for it.
Doesn't go to the team happy hours.
Shit employee. I need somebody who's committed to the values, the culture, not just looking to get a paycheck.
Does exactly what you're paying.
Okay. Maybe thoughts on this one?
I feel like this is you. I feel like this is your list I'm looking at. Again, I think Dan's batting 1,000 on this one. I think that on the first one on the superstar list here, guys, it's get works done but leaves early. Like when you're managing remote employees, we have some remote employees that are even on a salary. They're not even hourly. And in that situation, I'm not measuring the time. I'm measuring, is this getting done? And if it's not getting done, why is it not getting done? The most important is, does the employee get the work done? Is the work getting done? And am I satisfied with the work that's getting done? So I love that. I'm having a hard, let me see if I can make this a little bigger on my, makes mistakes, but documents them. Absolutely. When an employee comes to Christian or myself and says, hey, I fucked up. This is what happened. And this is how I think we can avoid this, or I can avoid this moving forward. We love that. We love that. We just had that happen not too long ago, and we were both stoked about it. Ask for a raise every 6 months. Again, if it's a situation where that person is providing value and they're helping grow the business, absolutely. If it's someone that's not providing value, they're asking for a raise 6 months. Good luck. Good luck.
Which we've had plenty of that.
Yes. So I love the superstar list.
Let's see how much more time we have, because I have plenty more.
Yeah. Keep coming.
Okay, here we go. Careers to make generational wealth. This is an interesting one. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, here we go.
Real estate agent. 4. The chance of becoming a millionaire as a real estate agent is very low.
Lawyer. I give it a 7. The lawyer has an admin and they usually do 90% of the work.
Doctor.
6. You're selling your time.
Crypto bros.
3. Crypto bros are essentially buying lottery tickets.
Sales
It just depends on what you're selling.
software engineer.
It's a 6. Unless you work for Google, not a good decision.
Corporate executive.
I give it a 7 because most businesses cap how much you can make. So you'd have to be in the right company.
Professional athlete.
4.
Financial advisor.
I would give it actually an 8. The business model is solid.
Investment banking.
Potential to become a millionaire? 9. They're part of the flow of funds.
Entrepreneur.
10. Entrepreneurship is the only one where you're actually building the vehicle. A lot of these other professions, you're kind of stuck inside of what you're selling.
Okay. Reaction.
Yeah, I think this list is again, I think it's pretty accurate. If you are, I love my favorite was really the crypto bro, because I know a lot of crypto bros where they are literally all in on it. They're all in on it. And to me, it's kind of like day trading, where it's like, can you make money? Yes, absolutely. But a lot of times it is almost like a lottery ticket. I think the real estate agent, it depends. If they're a real estate agent and they're like working for a brokerage and they're just doing their 9 to 5, I also know some people in real estate that do really well and they're real estate agents, but they're doing more than just like selling houses. They're also usually involved on kind of the investment side, or they're flipping homes themselves, or doing more than that. So real estate agents probably the only one I would argue is maybe miscategorized on this list.
I would think that a lawyer would be farther down, because that's another one where his argument for the doctor was you're trading your time, but aren't you doing that with the lawyer as well? Like, what's the difference?
How is a lawyer above a doctor?
I don't get that at all.
Yeah. He's just spitballing, maybe just he's on all this.
For the most part, I agree.
I will say that video reminds me of the post in the group. I wanted to talk about that too. Maybe we can finish on that note.
Yeah. Let's do that. Let's kind of react to that. I don't know if we want to pull the post up or just want to talk about it.
You know the post I'm talking about, right?
I'm fairly certain I do.
Yeah. If you want to try to find it and pull it up, by all means, guys, I'll tell you what it is, especially for the audio only audience. We had a post come up in the Figure Medicare Agent Facebook group, which if you're not in it,
I don't want to dox. I don't want to dox anybody.
That's fine. We're not going to blast anybody, but the post was, and this is a Chicken Little spicy post for sure. And the post was
in their defense, I think they said that they saw it in another
someone
group.
Else's. Yeah.
Thought it was interesting.
I saw that.
I don't know. I do think it screams Chicken Little vibes, and it definitely brought the Chicken Littles out of the woodwork.
Oh man, every Chicken Little was a Chicken Little hangout in the comments on the post. It was one of the craziest posts I've personally ever seen in the group. And then I'll recap it for you guys. And even if this was a repost from someone else's group, the origin of this is wild to me. So the headline of the post is all health insurance plans go non-commissionable. So the idea is like, what happens if we get like a one-payer system, or all plans go non-commissionable, whatever? What do you do next? And then it gives you two options. And these were the two options listed. Do you A, become a lawyer, or do you B, go get securities licensed? And I'm reading this, and it's just so, of all the options, like this could be its own podcast, I feel like, in and of itself, this topic. What was your first thoughts when you saw this post, though? Like, what were you thinking? Like, what was that reaction?
I felt as though the vibe of it all was just like, well, that's over. We're packing up shop. Now what are we doing? And that was kind of like the feeling. And I'm like, I am super optimistic about this AEP. And like 2027, really optimistic. Like,
for sure.
I think we're going to have some of the non-commissionable plans term. It's looking like, there's nothing official yet, but it's looking like some carriers are going to adjust plan benefits and possibly even recommission some non-commissionable plans. I'm like, my view on it all is the worst is behind us.
Yeah.
and we're talking about jumping ship in a doomsday scenario. The meteor, the crater is tumbling towards Earth. You're looking up, you can see the fireball entering our atmosphere. And you're like, all right, I got to make a quick decision here. Lawyer or securities license. And
all right, gun to my head. What is going on?
So for one, it's just a very like unaware, very tone deaf type of attitude of like, it's over. I'm like, if it was over now, why wasn't it over a year ago for you? It was way worse a year ago. You know how many more non-commissionable plans came out a year ago at this time in the year versus now? It's actually been relatively quiet. So that's number one. Okay, but put that aside. Let's talk about the second point of this, though, is why are these the two options?
Yes. That's what I really want to talk about right now.
So let's assume that the meteor is coming.
Yeah.
neither of those would be at the top of my list that I'd be considering.
That's the thing. That's the thing for me is, let's say it happens. Let's say one payer goes somehow out of total left field. We get one payer in the next 6 months. The idea that the top two options for Medicare agents is lawyer or securities license. I'm like, this is the craziest thing I've ever seen. I'm like, why are we talking about this, you guys? And for whatever reason, you guys loved it. Everybody's jumping in. What was the winner, by the way? Was it securities license, I believe?
By a lot, yeah.
Yeah. Which obviously securities license is going to win out of those two options because lawyer means you're going to law school. You know?
Securities license is at the very least, I suppose, more similar to what you already do. But okay, so let's assume you have an accident and health. Yeah, let's say you have a health and life license.
Yes. Thank you. Yeah.
There's so much you can sell under the sun, right?
Yes.
So on the health side, let's say ACA is gone. You can't sell that. And let's say Medicare's gone. Okay. You can still do ancillary products, which I would continue to do. You can still do ACA alternatives, which I would continue to do. There's a big market for those right now. But then if you even leave that in behind, you can sell all different types of life insurance. You can jump into the annuities space without needing a securities license, just with a life license.
My exact thought too.
Like there's so much you can do with your actual license right now. The fact that like law school was thrown out there, like that's the parachute. Was going on? Like it just and you know, to give this person that the poster the benefit of the doubt, to give this person, you know, the benefit of the doubt, maybe they're
already a lawyer. Maybe they already went to law school, right? Whoever created this, I don't know.
Well, they said they just stole the post from someone else. They thought it was interesting, whatever, right?
Right.
Wherever the origination of the post came from, to me, the origination of the post had to have come from somebody that has a finite understanding of our space at best.
I might do a Netflix style documentary tracking down the origin of this post. That's how crazy it's like. Where did this post come from? Why did this person decide to pick these two options? That was my number one thing though, is like assuming that this happens, you guys, assuming the meteor's coming. The idea that we're considering law school or securities license and that's a fascinating like two option spread here. The number of affiliated health products that will always be commissionable, something like short-term care, something like cancer insurance, you know, home health care, final expense life insurance, other types of life insurance, cash value life insurance products. You know, Christian mentioned annuities. If you really want to go into, there's so many people who are essentially, they call themselves, you know, financial advisors, or they get into this is kind of a gray area where you have to be careful what you say. But I know a lot of people who they only have a life insurance license and they do a ton on that side of it. They do a ton on, you know, financial products, annuities, cash value life insurance. They never even got a securities license. So it was literally like the scene in Terminator that we showed previously on the pod. And I felt like I was watching the nuke come, but it was more out of the stupidity of the posts. I'm just like, how? I'm like, how is this? I'm like, guys, what are we talking about here? It's like you're walking. It was this feeling of like, there's this huge ring of kids and I'm at the cafeteria and I'm walking up and I'm all excited. I'm like, what's everybody talking about over here? And then I get into the middle of the circle and I hear what you guys are talking about. And I like fell over. I like fell out of my chair when I saw this post. I'm like, what is going on? why are we talking about this? It doesn't make sense. Make it make sense. It doesn't. It doesn't make sense.
For my final thoughts, because we are there.
Oh, no.
To put a visual to what Glenn is talking about here.
No. I already know what this is. That's me. You don't have to get a securities license. You're going to law school. That's me at the fence.
The lawyer! You don't need to go to law school! You don't! This is retarded! What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
What about the affiliate program?
Oh my god! Don't go to law school!
Why am I reading this post?
Why am I reading it? Why are these the two options? Why?
Your underground bunker. If you're a true Chicken Little and you think this is happening anytime in the near future, your underground nuclear bunker.
Oh my god!
Your underground bunker is affiliated products like short-term care, cancer insurance, spinal expense. It's not law school's not the answer.
I need to go to law school.
I literally saw that post and I was like, maybe I do need to just like get out of this industry. Not because I think the industry is failing, but because I'm so scared of that this has become like
the
a
people that are in it.
Yeah, I'm scared of you guys. I'm scared of you guys right now. I really am. Last year, everyone's freaked out by non-commissionable plans. This year, it's like, well, we're not seeing them, but what about, let's talk about law school. Anybody thinking about law school in here? Like, what? Go to law school. There's options.
Wow.
I think the Matthew McConaughey scene would have been better for the analogy. The
Maybe
Interstellar. I'm behind the bookcase. I'm like, no, ancillary products. Like trying to smash ancillary product books. I'm like, look at short-term care. Look at final expense. I'm like smashing the ancillary product books off the shelves, trying to get your attention. I think I'm going to self-terminate and go to law school. I'm so scared of you guys. It's worse than Obsession. I thought Obsession was a scary movie. You guys are terrifying me. Stop. Right.
All right. Probably, Glenn, we should probably move into your final thoughts. I don't know what else there is to say.
Oh, man. Thoroughly enjoyed reacting to Dan Martell's content today. Guys, if you enjoyed this type of reaction style video, let us know in the comments. Comment below, comment wherever you guys are watching or listening to this. We appreciate your guys' feedback as always. And again, just to say it for the 100th time, there are so many great options to stay profitable outside of law school and getting your securities license if you're concerned about the future of this industry, which again, personally, I am not. I think this AAP is going to be a gold mine for those of you who have started to prepare like we have at ESI. So those are my final thoughts.
Well said. Guys, if you enjoyed today's episode, like, comment, subscribe, give a 5-star review, whatever the platform of your choice will allow you to do. And we'll see you on the next one. Please don't go to law school. See you guys.
Don't go to law school.